could bail like right now, I definitely would do it. Like this moment right now has been my favorite moment. It's been a bit harder than expected. Don't have to prove myself anything. This is just the perfect day. This is really one of those days that makes me question everything. Otto is not feeling too great. This looks so picture perfect. I really don't know what to do right now. I'm so happy. I'm really tired. Oh, I think this might have been a mistake.
Hi, my name is Elli. I'm a long-distance hiker and backpacker. Enjoying a cup of coffee with a view is my absolute happy place. And this is Otto, an adopted stray dog, crisps lover, and the best hiking companion. Come join us as we explore the great outdoors, one trail at a time. In summer of 2024, Otto and I embarked on one of England's most famous long-distance hikes, Wainwright's Coast to Coast, a 192-mile-long walk across England from west to east. This is part 2. Come join us for days 3 to 5, where we walked from Borrowdale to Shap.
Good morning everyone. On day 3 of the Coast to Coast, we had a bit of a late start this morning because there was a thunderstorm this morning and heavy rain, so we waited out the rain a little bit, and now it's a lot cooler and cloudy, but I think the worst should be over now. And we just set off from Borrowdale and we're walking towards Grasmere now, which is our first stop for today. That's about 9 miles, I think, 8 to 9 miles, and then depending on how we're feeling, there's no campsite that's available in Grasmere, so I think we'll very likely hike on. I don't know if we are hiking all the way to Patterdale, which would be the next campsite, or if we're stopping somewhere in between for a wild camp at around Grisedale Tarn. I don't know yet, but I'm really excited. I hope the rain holds out for a little bit longer. And yeah, so happy that it's not too foggy, that so far we still have some views. Let's go! I can really see why so many people like this area. Look at that. Isn't this just how you would picture like English countryside? It's so beautiful with the stone walls and little old farmhouses. It's so picturesque, and then surrounded by the high fells. Oh, this is really cute. We are on our first climb up to Green-up Edge, I think it is. I have to check the map, but that's our first climb for today. And then on the other side we're going back down to Grasmere. And like yesterday, there's also the option of walking a high route, like an alternative route over Crag. But I think since the last days have been quite challenging, I think we'll stick to the lower route for now. I don't want to overdo it for Otto. Look at this view. This is so beautiful. Wow. This is basically the same area that I hiked through last week on the Cumbria Way, basically heading in there into Langstrath Valley. And I'm so happy that I have some more views today, because last week was so horrible and wet and I couldn't really focus on the landscape, and also I couldn't see it because it was so misty and foggy. So I'm so happy that I get to see all this today. This is just gorgeous. I can see two hikers up there just left of this rock thing, and yeah, I think we have to go up there, which looks really steep, but wow, is it beautiful. Ooh, this is really steep. Ooh, just going straight up almost. Otto, warte. We're up at almost 600 meters now, and there's a bit of low cloud, but so far you can still see the path. Really grateful that there's these stones that have been put down to avoid the probably very boggy areas. This makes for a lot easier walking and reminds me a lot of the Pennine Way. Really nice to have that. Look at that, it almost looks unreal, like the sheep in the fog, almost like ghosts. Wow, this looks like another world up here. Wow, this is incredible. Wow. Waterproofs came on, but luckily it's not raining that heavily at the moment. Oh, this is a bit slippery when wet. Oh. Wow, this looks so almost like a fairy tale with the fog and that mystic vibe. Ooh, I'm getting closer. I think this down there is Grasmere. It's about time because this morning was quite slow going. We've been hiking for almost 4 hours already and only are about 8-9 kilometers in. I just had a little coffee break at the cute little cafe and I quite spontaneously made a decision. I booked a room for tonight in Grasmere, so only about 1 mile away, almost right on trail, very pet friendly, because I started to realize that Otto is not feeling too great. I think the last 2 days have been kind of hard on him and very rocky and steep climbs, steep downhill stretches, and I don't know, he just seems a bit off and I want to give him a really good rest. My original plan was to walk to Patterdale today and to go to the campsite there, but we've been walking kind of slow and obviously there was a lot of climbing today and was really wet and slippery, so we didn't walk very fast. And yeah, going to Patterdale, I think it's not realistic for us today because it's already 2:30 and it's another 8 miles, so yeah, this will just be a bit too much for us today, for Otto today. And then my backup plan was to wild camp around Grisedale Tarn, but given the weather I don't think that's a really great option for us either. I don't think I would want to go there and set up camp at 3:30. That's just not the way to do it, in my opinion, to be as discreet as possible. But I also don't want to hike on forever, and I also don't want to sit around in the rain. I booked a room in Grasmere and we're heading there. That's almost right on trail for a really, really nice rest. Yeah, I think I made the right decision. It's raining so heavily now. I think this will be a nice treat for the both of us after all this camping in the last 2 weeks, sleeping in the car in between. So yeah, really looking forward to it. This is the end of day 3. And yeah, I think it was a good idea to go to the hotel. Otto has been sleeping the entire afternoon, and I think the rest was really, really good for him and also for me, just to rest my feet, to finish up on some editing. The day was a bit shorter than expected, but still I'm very happy with our progress so far, because it's been a bit tougher than expected. Obviously the Lake District is like very hilly, but and I knew that, but there's still a couple of sections are quite steep, especially in the heat. I'm really excited for tomorrow. Tomorrow is supposed to be a really nice, sunny, beautiful day. And I'm trying to go to Angle Tarn for a wild camp, and yeah, really excited for tomorrow's scenery. So good night, see you then.
I'm gonna let the sun shine in.
Good morning everyone, on day 4 of the coast to coast hike. As you can see, it's a beautiful day. It's so sunny, but the air is still like a bit cool and fresh, and yeah, it's really nice. The weather is really unsettled at the moment because it rained a lot yesterday in the evening, and now today it's supposed to be really sunny, and then tomorrow there's another wind and rain warning. When it's nice, it's really nice, but then when it's bad, it's like really, really bad. So it feels like there's not a lot in between, but still today's so beautiful. Right now we are on our way up to Grisedale Tarn and then up and over to Patterdale. For my stop tonight, I'm not sure yet. I initially really wanted to do a wild camp at the shore of Angle Tarn, so basically further on the trail past Patterdale. But I don't know if that's a really sensible option, because the area up there, I think it's quite exposed. It's not a lot of like shelter, and the wind in the night is supposed to reach like up to 60 miles per hour gusts. So I don't know, and that with like heavy rain, heavy persistent rain. But for now I think I'm just going to start walking to Patterdale, and I'm so excited to have more views again today. So let's go!
Oh, and I'll try to spread my wings so I can fly. Oh, and the darkness starts to fade. Feels like things are gonna go my way.
We're starting off strong with a fairly steep climb. Look at this view. This is gorgeous. Yesterday I came from over there. I think this in front there is Helm Crag, and I basically came out of the valley. Wow, this is so beautiful.
Oh, I will open up my eyes so I can see the light. Oh, and I'll try to spread my wings so I can fly. Oh, and the darkness starts to fade. Feels like things are gonna go my way.
We've made it to the top. That's almost like a bit of a pass, I think. And look at that. Wow. This is beautiful. This is Grisedale Tarn. Ooh, this is so beautiful.
Beneath the shadows of this.
This looks so picture perfect.
I see you there, your feathers on the ground.
Ja, alles gut, alles gut. Okay.
You never could offer.
From Grisedale Tarn, there are actually 3 different coast-to-coast route variation. There's one, like the low-level route, heading down like towards Patterdale. Then there's one going up Helvellyn, one of the most famous like mountaintops in England. I don't know, that I think that's not the summit yet, but it's a bit behind there. And then it goes down, and that's the reason why I don't do it. It goes down over Striding Edge, which is basically a ridge walk, and on a day like this I think it's probably very busy, and also with a pack and Otto, it's I don't want to risk that because I think it's a bit more technical. Then there's one going over the other side, over Sunday Crag, I think this is called, and I think that's what we're trying. It looks okay on the map and not too close to the edge, so yeah, I think we'll try that one because the weather is so nice. It goes up to 840 meters and we're at 600 meters right now, so there's not that much more climbing to do, but especially if I decide to stop in Patterdale today for a rest, we have some time and energy to do the high level route this time, especially since we did the low level variations so far. So yeah, this is going to be a really nice change, and yeah, to get some views, this is probably going to be so nice.
But never learn to rise above these crowds. Stuck in the dust of the life that you found, with nowhere to go, no higher ground.
Wow, look at that. Wow, incredible. I think we're almost up on some sort of ridge, and let's have a look down to the other side. Wow, 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 wow. I'm so happy right now that I was confident enough to do the higher route with Otto. I don't know, I think because the last days have been a bit tough, and I was under the impression that Otto wasn't feeling too great, and yeah, with the heat honestly it's been a bit harder than expected. The Lake District section of the coast to coast, so I was really questioning if I should do the higher route. So worth it. I think this over there, this is Helvellyn, and this is Striding Edge, where I can see quite a few people. This is just the perfect day. I don't know, I'm so happy.
Don't let your worries
Ooh, we almost made it to the top. This is St. Sunday Crag. Wow. Look at this.
although you're earthbound.
I think I can even see Angle Tarn up and over there.
You're earthbound.
We spent almost an hour at the top, just resting in the sun. I was looking on the map, checking out every peak, like what's what. And I don't know, it seems random, but I think this so far, like this moment right now, has been my favorite moment. Just not being like stressed because of the heat or anything, or rain or cold. Just, yeah, the perfect weather, the perfect view, everything was just, yeah, like meant to be, and it was just perfect. And now we are on our way back down. This is also one of the like bigger lakes in the Lake District. This is Ulleswater. And down there, that's Patterdale. Also, this is so interesting because you can basically see the end of the Lake District, which is just behind those fells. And then there's an area where it's really flat. And then, like in the far back, like basically on the horizon, you can see another, like, bit like a ridge, which are the Pennines. And this is where we headed. This is Ulleswater and Patterdale. We've made it down and are almost in Patterdale now, and the descent was quite tough, really steep and rocky. On the way down I've made the decision to stay at the campsite just to give us a really good rest, because tomorrow is another big climb, and as I said, it's going to be very, very windy and there's going to be heavy rain, probably for most of the day. This is where we'll be heading up tomorrow morning towards Angle Tarn. Oh, that also looks quite steep for the first part. I got an ice cream! Yay! This is my spot for the night, and look at this view. I think it was a really good idea to go to the campsite, because I also realized, and that's a question that I get quite a bit, like, how can I keep going when it's hard? How do I motivate myself, and how do I manage to push through? And the truth is that I don't always push through. Like, I don't wing it like all the time. For example, right now I know, and there's such a big part of me that wants to push on to wild camp at Angle Tarn, but from my experience I know that there's the weather warning that's not without a reason. So it will very likely rain very heavily tomorrow and be very, very windy. So instead of pushing on to go there to have probably a beautiful wild camp like this evening and spend an amazing time there, but I know that we will have a really rough night up there. If it's obviously it's more exposed, that I can see that on a map. Everything tomorrow morning will be quite hard. Packing up the wet tent in like horizontal driving rain, I know that I will be miserable, and we have a big day tomorrow, so I know that this will not be a great start, not for me, not for Otto. Getting out of the tent, packing up a tent that's almost going to fly away probably. So this is one of those moments where I don't wing it, and what that means right now is I chose the safe option on the campsite, because if it's really bad I can go in there. There's a pot washing area, and it's basically a little room where I can quickly carry all my stuff to, and then be able to pack up there, like where it's dry. And these are just these little things, because it's not a problem to pitch the tent in the rain and taking it down in the rain. But if you're out for the long run, like in our case 15, 16 days, it's just drains your energy. And that's something that I learned over the last couple of years, and something that I don't know, I don't have to prove myself anything. It doesn't always have to be super, super hard. Obviously, I know some people will probably say, okay, that's the easy way, you're doing it like the easy way. Why not like suffer a bit more? But the way I see it, it doesn't always have to be hard. I know I want to have a good hike tomorrow, and I want to be rested and fresh. And for me, I know, and for Otto too, I know that's only possible with a good rest. So yeah, even though some people might probably say, okay, that's you have to wild camp all the way, only then you're a real through hiker, and maybe there's some truth in that, I don't know. But especially if I'm with Otto, I also have obviously like a lot of responsibility for him, and that he feels great, and I just know what he likes, what he doesn't like. And It's already hard as it is, like hiking all this way, carrying my stuff, taking care of Otto, planning where I can get food and everything, trying to stay within my budget, obviously. That's already a lot to do, so if I can make my life on trail a bit easier, just with a little bit of planning and a campsite, that's what I'm going to do. That's, I think, one of the answers for me why I can push through, because then on other times when I have the option or when I know that it's going to be hard, I take a step back and I don't make it harder as it already is sometimes. Ooh, this was quite cold, but really, really nice. And now I'm going to take a shower and have a coffee. Okay, this is it, the end of day 4. We had such a perfect afternoon, just resting in the sun, and I took a little swim in the lake, and it's been just perfect after a couple of really hard days, and also mentally preparing ourselves for tomorrow. I don't really know why I'm nervous, because it's basically the same that we've been doing for the last couple of days, but I think, yeah, probably because the weather is very likely going to be very, very bad. And yeah, also this like thought that it's going to be the highest point on the coast to coast, which is Kidsty Pike. It's actually not higher than what we did today, since Sunday Crag, but on the like official route, if you don't take into account the high level route options, tomorrow is going to be the highest point on the entire hike, but still, I don't know, probably a mix of everything. But for now, we're going to bed and have a good rest, and we'll see you tomorrow. Good night. Good morning, everyone, on day 5 of the coast to coast. As you can see and probably hear, and as expected, it's really, really windy and it's raining so much. It's so wet, and I can't bring myself to take down the tent. That's the worst thing, like, because it's really cold too, so as soon as I start packing up and Otto has to go out of the tent, even though he can go under the covered thing area, but still it will be quite cold, and yeah, I don't know. I'm treading it, but obviously I have quite a tough day today, so I don't want to sit around for too long. It's raining so heavily, and I haven't taken down the tent yet, but at least I got all my stuff. I think I'm going to make a coffee, and yeah, this is not a great day. It's really not. I'm still here, and it's so crazy. I'm almost completely soaked just after taking down the tent, and shit, this is so bad. Wow, this is really one of those days that makes me question everything. I don't know, this is so bad. But I'm so happy that I went to the campsite, because just hiding out here for a couple of more minutes, an hour, all that wouldn't have been possible if I had white camped near Angle Tarn. So yeah, really happy about that. But still, it's not just the rain, but the rain's coming like horizontally and from the direction I'm hiking in. So I don't know, this will be pretty bad. And yeah, I don't know if I should go. I don't know, because it's quite cold too, so I don't know. I really don't know what to do right now. Shit. I don't think it makes sense to wait longer, so I think I just start walking and see what it's like. But geez, this is probably going to be really, really hard to walk up to 700 meters in this weather. Whew, wish me luck. We are on our climb up to Angle Tarn, and this is so hard. I can't even tell you how hard it is. It's not just the rain, but also obviously the terrain. Today is very tough too. Oh, I hate this. This is hard. These past few days I always saw other coast-to-coast hikers, but no one here so far, which is a bit of a shame. Would make things a bit easier knowing that you're not completely on your own. I think this might have been a mistake. Oh shit! This is really horrible. Because it's so windy up here too. I don't know if I can do it today, honestly. But obviously hiking back down is also quite a bit. I don't know. This is so horrible. Fuck. You can't really see it, I think, but down there, that's Angle Tarn. This is so beautiful. Wow. This is so wet. Wow, look at that. This is our last climb for today, going up there. This is the highest point at I think 750 meters on the coast to coast. To be honest, it's quite sketchy. The wind is quite heavy. I mean, there's no risk of falling down or anything. It's not near a ridge or anything, but still it's really, really hard going. So yeah, can't wait to get up there and then slowly make our way down into hopefully more sheltered terrain. Oh, this is really so hard, and if I could bail like right now, I definitely would do it, but we're too far in now. So I'm going at least over the top and then down to burn banks, and then I'm going to decide if I'm going to take a bus or if there's a hotel there. I don't think there is, but yeah, right now I think there's no real other option than to just get it over with, but it's really, really hard. I think this was a mistake. It's so hard to keep going. Oh, shit. Wow, this is really, I don't know how I'm going to do that. Shit. You can't see it, but this behind me is Kidsty Pike. There aren't any views, unfortunately. And from Kidsty Pike, normally like the regular coast-to-coast route goes down to Ulleswater Reservoir. But apparently, and a couple of you told me about that, it's quite eroded, the path, and steep. So instead I'm taking the alternative route, which is going a bit further up from Kidsty Pike to High Race and then over Low Race, and then apparently it's a more gentle downhill stretch and you avoid walking along the reservoir, which apparently is quite tough as well. So yeah, thank you for suggesting that. I really liked the Lake District stretch of the coast to coast. But this is basically the end now, and I'm kind of happy because it is very, very, very hard, and especially in this weather. Whew, for the first time in 5-6 hours, the rain is a bit less heavy, and there's a bit of views, and I don't know if you can see that, but it actually looks a bit like the sun's coming out there. This was so hard, and it still is. I mean, we still have about 12 kilometers to go, at least, I think. So, and it's already 2 p.m. So yeah, it will be quite a tough day still. But I'm so happy that I'm off the higher peaks and it's not that exposed anymore. Look at that, we've made it back to the original route of the coast to coast. This is Horsewater Reservoir, and that's where you come down from Kidsty Pike and walk along here. But I'm really happy that we did the alternative route, because it was a much more like gentle descent. I can't even tell you how happy I am that we have this technical bit behind us. Yeah, it wasn't easy, and I was a bit scared at times today. So yeah, this is really nice. We are almost in Burnbanks now, and I think it's only another 7.5 kilometers, which is not nothing, but I really hope that it's going to get a bit easier now. These are the last hills in the Lake District, and now we're out of it. Crazy, one big milestone done. It's already 4 p.m. and I don't know yet where I will be staying tonight. There's the option of camping in the pub garden at a pub in Shap. So yeah, maybe I'm doing that. I tried to look for a hotel, but I didn't have enough signal, so I don't know if that's going to happen. Obviously it's quite expensive, but there's one part of me that really wants to go to a hotel, because obviously my kid is totally wet. I maybe have a look if there's a hotel with availability, and if not, just camping by the pub. Ooh, just like that. There's this marker, 5 days and 56 miles done, and 126 miles to go. This is probably one of the good things about doing the coast path in summer. Obviously it's very busy and accommodation can be like quite hard in some areas, it feels like, but at least the path is clearly visible from all the other hikers. We've almost made it to Shap. I think it's just a little over 1 mile. This is Shap Abbey. Ooh, this is it. Ooh, apparently this is what it looked like, and it was an abbey between 1200 and 1540. We've been walking for 6.5 hours and 22 kilometers, and this is the first real break because it was so cold and wet and obviously nowhere to get shelter, and yeah, so we didn't take any breaks basically, and I'm really tired. I've made it to Shap, and I'm so tired but so happy that I've made it. First off, I'm going to go to the co-op and get some food. I've actually made it to the hotel and they really had a room that wasn't too expensive, so I took that just to be able to try all my stuff and have a good rest, because tomorrow is going to be a longer day again. I'm trying to get to Kirby Stephen, which is almost 20 miles I think, so quite a long day. So I want us to have a really good rest, and I was feeling so cold in the end, being wet and everything. So yeah, this is really nice, and I think this is a great moment to say a big heartfelt thank you to each and everyone who keeps supporting our hikes, our adventures on Buy Me a Coffee. To stay in a hotel on a really horrible day like this, that makes a big difference, because obviously I need to keep an eye on my budget, so I'm always like thinking twice before going to a hotel. But today I felt so miserable, and yeah, this was such a lifesaver today for me to be able to go there without like any fears that I would like go over my budget. And yeah, this has been really nice, so thank you. That means the world. I'm really happy that we've made it through the day. It was a bit sketchy here and there, to be honest, and in hindsight obviously yeah, it wasn't maybe the most sensible thing to do, but in general I'm quite confident on what I can do or what we can do and what's probably too much. But still, like mentally, for me today it was very hard, because it was so wet, it was so cold, it was so windy. And yeah, then obviously I always worry about Otto too, which was not really needed today because he was in a great mood and he was honestly doing great. But yeah, it was just very draining today, so I'm really happy that we got over this bit. Tomorrow is going to be a new day, probably a dry day with some sunshine, and I'm really excited to see a different part, because we're entering the next national park on the coast to coast hike, which are the Yorkshire Dales. I really like the moorland, more open spaces, but it's not as hilly and steep as the Lake Districts. I'm really excited to explore this area again and to see something new. So we'll see you tomorrow. Good night.